I look around my house, and it's filled with people I love, yet sometimes it feels like I'm living with strangers. We share the same roof, the same Wi-Fi, but we're all in our own worlds. It's like we're all just passing through, caught up in our screens, our jobs, our endless to-do lists. I wake up early, the sun barely peeking through the curtains, and I'm already thinking about deadlines, meetings, and the never-ending grind. The kids are still asleep, but when they wake up, it's a rush, breakfast, backpacks, and out the door. We barely exchange a few words, just quick hellos and goodbyes. Then there's dinner time. We gather around the table, but instead of sharing stories, we're often glued to our phones. I catch glimpses of my partner scrolling through social media, my kids watching videos, and I wonder, when did we stop talking? When did our conversations turn into quick updates about who's where and what's happening online? I remember when family dinners meant laughter, debates, and sometimes even arguments. Now, it feels like a silent competition of who can respond to a text the fastest. We're all here, yet we're miles apart. It's exhausting. After dinner, I retreat to my room, scrolling through my own feed, feeling the weight of the day. I see posts of families laughing together, and I can't help but feel a pang of jealousy. Why can't we capture that joy? Why does it feel like we're just surviving instead of thriving? I try to initiate game nights or movie marathons, but even then, it's a struggle to pull everyone away from their screens. I want to reconnect, to bridge this gap that's grown between us. I want to hear about my kids' days, to share my own frustrations, to laugh until our sides hurt. But it's hard. The digital distractions are relentless, and the emotional exhaustion is real. We're all just trying to keep up, but in the process, we're losing touch with each other. I know I'm not alone in this. Many families are facing the same battle, trying to find a balance between the digital world and the real one. So, I'm making a promise to myself. I'll put my phone down more often. I'll create moments that matter, even if it's just a few minutes of genuine conversation. Because at the end of the day, I want to know my family, not just live with them. I want us to be more than just strangers sharing Wi-Fi. I want us to be a team, a unit, a family. And I know it starts with me. Family dinners used to be a sacred time, a daily ritual where laughter echoed off the walls and stories flowed as freely as the food. Picture it, the clatter of dishes, the warmth of shared moments, and the joy of connection. Fast forward to today, and what do we see? A stark contrast. Kitchens that once buzzed with life now often sit in silence, punctuated only by the soft glow of screens. Think back to those evenings filled with animated conversations. Parents would come home, eager to share their day, while kids would eagerly recount their adventures at school. There was a rhythm to it, a dance of dialogue that fostered understanding and closeness. But now, many parents return home mentally drained, their minds still tangled in the demands of work. They walk into a house where their children are already lost in a digital world, scrolling through feeds or glued to video games. This shift isn't just about technology, it's about connection. The screens have become a barrier, a way for kids to retreat into their own worlds, leaving parents feeling isolated. It's a cycle that perpetuates itself. Parents, exhausted from their day, often choose the path of least resistance, plopping down in front of a screen themselves, seeking solace in the same distractions that pulled their children away. We're missing something vital here. A quote I came across resonates deeply. We miss each other's attention. It's a simple truth, yet it carries profound implications. When did we start prioritizing notifications over conversations? When did silence become the norm at the dinner table? Imagine if we could reclaim those moments. What if we set aside our devices, even for just one meal a day? What if we made it a rule to share our highs and lows, to engage in the messy, beautiful chaos of family life? It's not just about food, it's about nourishing our relationships. We need to recognize that the time we spend together is fleeting. Kids grow up fast, and those dinner conversations, those shared laughs, are the threads that weave our family fabric together. Let's not allow screens to dictate our interactions. Let's challenge ourselves to create a space where everyone feels heard and valued. It's time to bring back the joy of connection, to fill our homes with laughter instead of silence. Let's turn off the screens and turn up the volume on our lives. After all, the most meaningful moments often happen when we simply take the time to look up and engage with one another. I used to think that working late was a sign of dedication. I wore my long hours like a badge of honor, convinced that the more I sacrificed, the more successful I would become. But then I started noticing something unsettling. My kids were growing up and I was missing it. I'd come home after a long day, only to find them already asleep, their little lives slipping through my fingers while I chased deadlines. I remember one night, I was on a conference call and my daughter peeked into my office. She had just lost her first tooth, and all I could think about was finishing that call. I waved her away, thinking, I'll be done soon. But soon turned into hours, and by the time I wrapped up, she was already tucked in, dreaming of fairy tales. That moment hit me hard. I realized I was trading precious memories for a paycheck. In the US, overwork has become this twisted badge of honor. We glorify the hustle, the grind, the endless emails that invade our family dinners. We've convinced ourselves that success is measured by how many hours we clock in, not by the quality of our relationships. But what's the cost? A staggering 69% of working parents report feeling guilty for not spending enough time with their children. That's nearly 7 out of 10 parents. It's heartbreaking to think that so many of us are physically present but emotionally absent. We're paying the bills, sure, but what about the emotional connection? That's the currency that truly matters. I've started to question this narrative. Is it really worth it to sacrifice family time for a promotion or a few extra dollars? I've learned that success isn't just about climbing the corporate ladder. It's about being there for the moments that matter. It's about watching my son score his first goal or helping my daughter with her homework, not just sending a quick text to say I'll be home soon. It's time to redefine what success looks like. It's not about the hours we put in at the office. It's about the hours we spend with our loved ones. I've made a commitment to set boundaries. No emails after dinner, no calls during family time. It's a small change, but it's made a world of difference. I'm learning to prioritize my family, to be present in their lives. Because at the end of the day, when I look back, I want to remember the laughter, the shared meals, the late-night talks, not just the meetings and deadlines. It's time we all start valuing what truly matters. Let's put down the phones, close the laptops, and reconnect with the people who mean the most to us. After all, success is not just about what we achieve. It's about who we share it with. Technology promised to bring us closer, but in many ways, it pulled us apart. Think about it. We're all sitting together, yet each of us is glued to our screens. It's a strange paradox. We can connect with someone halfway across the globe in an instant, yet we struggle to have a meaningful conversation with the person right next to us. Studies have shown that even the mere presence of a phone on the table can diminish the quality of our interactions. It's as if that little device steals our attention, diverting it away from the people we care about. We might be physically present, but emotionally, we're miles apart. Scrolling side by side is not the same as being together. We might share the same space, but our minds are elsewhere, lost in a digital world that often feels more engaging than the reality in front of us. It's easy to get caught up in the endless stream of notifications, likes, and messages. But what about the laughter, the stories, the shared moments that make life rich? When was the last time you had a deep conversation without distractions? When did you last put your phone down and truly listen to someone? Those moments are becoming rare, and it's concerning. We're losing the ability to connect on a deeper level, to share our thoughts and feelings without the interference of technology. Imagine a family dinner where everyone is engaged in conversation, sharing their day, laughing, and connecting. Now picture that same dinner, with everyone scrolling through their phones. The energy shifts, the laughter fades, and what should be a bonding experience turns into a series of isolated moments. We need to reclaim those connections. It starts with small steps. Set aside phone-free times during meals or gatherings. Encourage open dialogue, ask questions, and really listen. It's about being present, not just in body, but in spirit. Let's challenge ourselves to put down our devices and engage with the world around us. The depth of our relationships depends on it. We have the power to bridge the gap that technology has created. It's time to reconnect with the people who matter most, to foster those genuine interactions that enrich our lives. After all, the most meaningful connections are made face-to-face, not screen-to-screen. I want to talk about something that often goes unnoticed but runs deep within our families: the emotional cost of silence. It's astonishing how children can grow up feeling invisible, like they're just background noise in a home filled with routine. They crave connection, yet they often find themselves alone, lost in their own thoughts, wondering if anyone truly sees them. And then there are couples. Over time, they drift apart, mistaking the comfort of routine for genuine love. They share the same space, but their hearts are miles apart. Conversations become transactional, filled with logistics and schedules, while the warmth of affection fades into the background. It's not that they've stopped loving each other, it's that they've forgotten how to express it. Loneliness creeps in, not just for individuals, but for entire families. It's a silent epidemic that breeds stress and anxiety. Parents, overwhelmed with their own struggles, often overlook the emotional needs of their children. They think they're providing, but what children really need is to feel seen, heard, and valued. When love goes unspoken for too long, it creates a void. That absence can feel suffocating. It's like living in a house filled with echoes of laughter that once filled the air, now replaced by silence. The emotional distance grows, and before you know it, the family unit starts to unravel. We need to remember that love isn't just a feeling. It's an action. It's in the small gestures: a hug, a compliment, a simple "I'm proud of you." These moments matter. They build bridges over the chasms of misunderstanding and neglect. Imagine a child who hears "I love you" every day, not just in words but in actions. They grow up knowing they matter. They carry that confidence into the world, ready to face challenges, knowing they have a safe haven to return to. And for couples, reconnecting means rediscovering those little things that once brought them together. It's about making time for each other, sharing dreams, and being vulnerable. It's about turning off the distractions and truly engaging with one another. The emotional cost of neglect is high, but the rewards of nurturing love are immeasurable. It's never too late to start showing love again. It's about breaking the cycle of silence and making the choice to be present. Let's not allow our families to become islands of isolation. Instead, let's create a culture of connection, where love is spoken freely and felt deeply. Because when we do, we not only heal ourselves but also the generations that follow. We often find ourselves caught in a whirlwind of distractions, and it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: our connections with family and friends. Breaking the cycle of disconnection starts with small, consistent changes. Let's talk about some practical steps we can take to rebuild those lost connections. First, consider the simple act of putting away our phones during dinner. It might seem trivial, but this small gesture can transform a meal into a meaningful experience. When we silence our devices, we create space for real conversations. We can share stories, laugh, and truly engage with one another. It's in these moments that we reconnect, not just as family members, but as individuals with thoughts and feelings worth sharing. Next, let's talk about scheduling no-work family nights. Life can get hectic, and work often creeps into our personal time. By setting aside specific evenings where work is off limits, we prioritize our relationships. Whether it's game night, movie night, or simply cooking together, these dedicated times allow us to bond and create lasting memories. It's about being intentional with our time and ensuring that we're fully present for each other. Now, let's dive into the power of asking meaningful questions. Instead of the usual, "How was your day?" try something deeper. Ask, "What was the best part of your day?" Or, "What challenged you today?" These questions invite more thoughtful responses and encourage open dialogue. They show that we care about each other's experiences and feelings, fostering a deeper connection. We also need to remember that connection comes from those small moments of being fully present. It's not always about grand gestures or big events. Sometimes, it's the quiet moments, sipping coffee together in the morning, sharing a laugh over a silly memory, or simply sitting side by side in comfortable silence. These are the moments that build the foundation of our relationships. Finally, let's not underestimate the impact of gratitude. Taking a moment to express appreciation for one another can work wonders. A simple thank you for something as small as making dinner or helping with chores can reinforce our bonds. It reminds us that we see and value each other's contributions, no matter how minor they may seem. Breaking the cycle of disconnection doesn't require monumental changes. It's about being mindful and making small, consistent efforts to prioritize our relationships. By putting away our phones, scheduling dedicated family time, asking meaningful questions, being present, and expressing gratitude, we can rebuild those connections that enrich our lives. It's in these small, everyday moments that we find the true essence of connection. Every day, we rush through our lives, juggling work, responsibilities, and endless to-do lists. We often forget what truly matters, the warmth of our homes and the connections we share with those we love. Imagine a family gathered around the kitchen, laughter filling the air as they cook together, the aroma of a home-cooked meal wafting through the house. It's in these moments that we find joy, not in the accolades or the promotions, but in the simple act of being together. Think about it. When was the last time you sat down for a game night? The thrill of competition, the playful banter, and the shared laughter create bonds that no email or meeting can replicate. These experiences are the threads that weave our lives together, creating a tapestry of memories that we cherish. In a world that often feels disconnected, we need to prioritize these moments. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, but what if we made a conscious effort to reconnect? To put down our devices, step away from our screens, and truly engage with our loved ones? The richness of life lies in these interactions, in the stories we share, and the support we offer one another. As the day winds down, let's remember that success isn't measured by our professional achievements, but by the relationships we nurture. The laughter shared over a board game, the stories exchanged at the dinner table, these are the moments that fill our hearts and souls. So, let's create spaces in our homes for connection. Let's make time for family dinners, game nights, and those spontaneous moments of joy. Because at the end of the day, what we truly crave isn't just a quiet home. It's a warm, inviting space filled with love and laughter. Reconnect with those who matter most. Before the silence becomes permanent, let's fill our homes with warmth, laughter, and connection.